turn off the flash, you fucking moron. Zoom. Ah! Don't hit me! Don't run over me!
Turn off the flash, you fucking moron!
Welcome to Screen Share, a movie podcast about going real fast and dragging a safe through the streets of Rio de Janeiro.
Now I'm saying this with the knowledge
I'm Calder Amos Wood.
I'm saying, my name's Adam Cook. I'm saying this with the knowledge that this might stay in. You really want that to be the intro of this episode of the pod.
Why is that bad?
Because you did a weird, bad version of our intro, and then like a very low volume said,
It's high volume on there, brother.
Hey everybody, it's good to talk to you.
Adam and I have been fighting today.
It's true. Like physically mostly.
Well, yeah, and he's been trying to do something to me that I request he doesn't. I'll leave it at that, I guess.
Can you please elaborate?
So, you've seen this movie before, Fast and Furious number 5, Fast 5.
Fast 5. So, fun fact, I think I had seen the movie before, but I forgot almost every aspect.
And how could you do that? It's one of the most iconic movies of the 2010s.
Well, like, I remembered some things. Like, I remembered, like, them finding the microchip in the car.
Okay.
I remembered The Rock choosing a rookie as his right-hand person.
Mm-hmm. And
I remembered...
And?
Honestly, I barely even remembered them pulling the safe. I don't even... Like, when I was watching that, I was like... I was shocked. So
when was the last time you watched it? When we were living together?
I must have been, like, very passively watching. Actually, no, I think the last time I watched it was the same time I saw John Wick on a Redbox.
Oh, so that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, well, came out in 2011. So
I probably saw it in, like, 2012, honestly.
There you go.
Or 2013.
So Fast 5.
That can't be true, because John Wick came out in, what, 2015?
I don't know, man.
None of this matters.
Fast 5, the 5th Fast and Furious movie. They've got 10 coming out pretty soon in May, I think.
Like they've got 10 more coming in?
No, number 10, Fast X.
They should just drop 10 new movies at once.
They will. They will. They will.
That's what they do.
What did you think? Before I get into my information about the movie. Oh, he's pulling up his notes. He did tell me he wrote a critical dissertation about the film.
It's an exciting action film, but ultimately I find myself paying more attention to the goofiness of it rather than the coolness of it.
That's what you wrote?
That was what I wrote for my overall thoughts.
Mm-hmm. And is that bad?
I think it's fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean I think it's like really, really good.
That's where you're wrong, man.
Here we are. Here's the thing, though.
Good.
You've shown me the first Fast and Furious movie, and I thought it was great. And I don't think this is bad either. I just think that there's Paul Walker's on a train and is jumping to Vin Diesel's car, and then they do it at the last millisecond, and then they drive off a cliff and fall 500 kilometers into a river.
Mm-hmm.
They are dead. They are dead.
No, they aren't. Water, man.
Oh, yeah, and they do the stupid thing where they, like, jump off of the car as it's falling to slow their fall.
No, it's not to slow their fall. It's so they don't land on the fucking car and die.
That's not how I saw it, but, you know, we can agree to disagree.
This guy's never jumped off a car going into a ravine. Sorry to get aggressive right out of the gate. Let me tell you, this is the best Fast and Furious movie easily. It's one of the best action movies of the 2010s. I think behind maybe Fury Road.
I should say this. Something that I had forgotten was in the movie that I really liked was how much of it is literally just a heist movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like getting the gang together and then like doing the plan.
And all the stunts, all the crashes are practical essentially, except for like them falling 200 feet into the river.
How much of the safe is real?
It's real. They did that. They did all of that.
All of the stuff with the safe?
They did all of that.
Here's why I'm having trouble believing you. I wrote down in my notes, it is just sliding across the road like ice, leaving no damage.
Well, because what they did when they were doing it, and this is in my research, there was like a hard plastic, like not plexiglass, but like a hard plastic bottom, so it would slide.
Okay.
If it was just like metal, it wouldn't slide. And then I think they added the sparks in after, or like added something so that it would spark.
Well, like there were also barely any sparks for, like there were some scenes where it would just be a wide shot of them driving down, because it kind of works fine when it's like close-ups and like shaky cam and stuff. But like sometimes they just do a still.
So let's get it.
Wait. I got to finish this point. Sometimes they do a still above, like almost bird's eye view shot. And it looks like it's just sliding across the road like
so let me tell you what
a Zamboni on ice.
So there was one safe that had plastic on the bottom so they could pull it.
Okay.
There was one safe that was built around the front end of like a car, of a truck, so they could drive it through the streets.
That's kind of...
And then there was another safe that was a facade on the front of a semi-truck so they could like get close-ups and stuff with it.
Okay.
And the guy, so they had to have someone driving it when they used the one where it was basically just around a car. And that guy had to wear like a heat protecting suit because it would get very hot in there. And he had to have like an oxygen tank because...
Well, yeah, it's just completely sealed in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they didn't drag a 6-ton safe through the streets of Rio, but they did all of that.
Yeah. Even when it's like rolling and destroying cars.
And even like when they destroyed the bank, they rolled it through that fucking bank.
Yeah.
And they were actually like those people in the bank are actually in the bank.
I need to do a bit of a clarification here. I've not said this movie is bad. I don't think it's bad at all.
I'm just telling you about the safe. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, I know. So I didn't realize how much of it was real.
Uh-huh.
And I think that adds to it. But like even not knowing all of it was real, like it's a very exciting and impressive action sequence.
Yeah.
That I really enjoy. It's just a lot of the movie's goofy.
Yeah. That's the charm. Like, I think this movie synthesizes what's good about the Fast and Furious. This is the peak. After this, they kind of go...
Space.
No, like they kind of get a little goofier. Like Fast 6 is a bit of like a transition movie. Like a bridge movie. Fast 7.
I think I've actually seen Fast 6. That's the one where Hobbs joins the crew, right?
That's the one with Jason Statham in it, and they're in London.
Yeah, I think I've
and
seen
Helen
that
Mirren.
one.
Okay.
Where I think at the end of that, Hobbs joins the family.
Maybe.
There's a scene where he walks in and makes a joke about... He makes a joke to Tyrese. I just know that scene.
Does Gal Gadot die in that one?
I think so. And there's a big cargo plane scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fast 7, they start doing like a lot of the sort of over-the-top CGI stunt stuff. Like they jumped the car between the Burj Khalifa or whatever. And then 8 and 9, it kind of is
Comes
even
back.
more of that.
Oh,
no, it's even more of that like CGI garbage stuff. Okay. Where like in 9, there's like using magnets to pull cars through buildings.
Well, also in 9,
like,
they do go to space.
Yeah, and they do go... Like, that's not very important to the movie, though.
I know. And, like, it is a little bit misleading. Like, it's not like...
It's not like they're in space a lot. It's just like Tyrese and Ludacris are in a car for like 5 minutes.
And they just, like, enter the atmosphere for a bit.
It's not like Tom Cruise literally going into, like, suborbit.
Yeah, I think that was mostly because... Like, people were like, what are they going to do in the next one? Go to space? And they were like, what if we kind of, like, did that? So I think it's kind of funny.
But this is, like, the perfect synthesis. Because I think the team composition in this one is also very good. Like, I love the team in this movie. Yeah. The only main person missing from the team is Letty. Yeah, because she crashed and we think she's dead. But if you watch the post-credit scene, did you watch the post-credit scene?
Here's the thing. I where was it, Netflix? I went back because the credits came up and I went back. I was like, oh shoot, there was probably a post-credit scene, and then I went and it had already been play from the beginning, and I was like, oh, I don't want to have to fast.
Well, basically it just says that Letty's still alive.
Okay, well,
and that sets up Fast number 6. But let's get into a bit more about the movie, about the making of the film. Justin Lin is the director, and he's directed the most Fast and Furious movies. He did 4, 5, 6, and 9, and Tokyo Drift. Okay. And he kind of, with Tokyo Drift, reinvigorated the franchise, because that movie wasn't supposed to be very good, because they didn't really spend that much money on it. And then it's it's not the best one, but it's something, and he does a really good job with that movie.
Yeah.
But in general, I think Justin Lin's a good director that hasn't had a lot of chances outside of Fast and Furious. He was supposed to direct 10 as well, but I think I sent this to you, where there's the video of Vin Diesel and him a week before he quits for creative differences, and Vin Diesel's look at Justin Lin, my family, we're going to talk about the ideology of Fast and Furious, and Justin Lin looks like he wants to be dead.
Yeah.
But he's got his first and second movie, I think, are pretty good. Shopping for Fangs, which is kind of a weird movie. And Better Luck Tomorrow, which is where Han, that character, is from. And I think that's a pretty good movie. Han Solo.
Han Solo.
Did you pick up on
Well, yeah,
that?
I've just known that.
You picked up on that one?
It's not that I picked up on it.
You picked up on
it.
I
knew about it.
But you could have picked up on it.
If I was watching and hadn't known it, I might have picked up on it.
And he also did Star Trek Beyond, which I think was the third in the Chris Pine Star Treks. And I think I saw that in theaters for some reason. I remember there being dirt bikes on one of the alien planets or something.
Weird.
And he's kind of made the best ones. 7 was James Wan. I think 7's good emotionally, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's getting to that point where there's too many people in the movies for it to have any emotion, really.
Yeah.
I think 5 is literally the apex. This is the peak of Fast and Furious.
This is the climax.
Because even in 10, Brie Larson, Alan Ritchson, I think that's his name, the guy that plays Reacher, Big Reacher.
No idea.
Jason Momoa, John Cena, Helen Mirren, Vanessa Kirby.
It does feel kind of weird that it feels like each movie is and the new celebrity in the franchise is this one, and they're the villain, and then in the next movie they're a part of the gang.
Yeah.
And they've just done that 4 times. They did it with The Rock. Or, well, I guess technically first they did it with Paul Walker.
Yeah, I guess.
And they did it with The Rock. They did it with John Cena. They're probably going to do it with Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
They did it with Letty a little bit.
This is supposed to be... So the Fast 10, it's supposed to be the last one, apparently. He's going goblin.
They've said this about 7 different times. Before every single one of the movies, they said that it's the last one.
The Goblin Boys appeared. Are you angry?
If it makes hundreds of millions of dollars, they're making another one, and it will make that money.
Now, Jason Momoa, and this Fast 10 cost $350 million,
of course.
Production budget.
Ridiculous.
Jason Momoa is a character that was in this movie, allegedly. That's their, what's it called?
Oh yeah,
when they go back?
I saw the trailer.
Where he's one of the guys that was
10.
in the car that got hit off by the safe. Hit off the bridge by the safe. He's one of the henchmen or something.
Okay, because I saw the trailer for Fast 10, and the only thing that I remember from it is a shot of Jason Momoa standing in the rubble of the safe being pulled out of the bank.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? And then I saw this, and I was like, no, he was not there.
And they did this with Jason Statham, too, where
they're
Jason's...
Jason Statham?
Sorry,
Jason Statham. Are you okay?
Yeah, it's like
What happened?
I guess this is what it feels like to get sprayed by a skunk. Because I think someone
Have
just
you-
shit their fucking pants in this room.
I don't know what you're talking about, but have you ever been sprayed by a skunk?
Does this count? Ah, my
No,
eyes are
no, I don't think
watering,
so.
Man. Oh,
You okay, buddy? You want to take a break? You want to cut?
oh God.
Here, take a drink. Take a drink, pal. What were you saying about Jason Statham? Oh, like he joined the crew as well, kind of.
So they rewrote it so that he killed Han in Tokyo Drift.
Jason Statham.
And I'm going full spoilers on Fast and Furious.
sure. I mean,
Because I don't think we'll do another one for a while. Like maybe the first
I was
one.
thinking of maybe throwing Tokyo Drift in somewhere just because that's a different one.
Yeah.
see.
But they, like, what's it called when they go back and, like,
Flashback. Oh, a retcon.
a retcon. They retconned it so Jason Statham killed Han in Tokyo Drift. When like initially in that he's just like in a car crash,
Yeah,
but they are like, no, he would intentionally killed Han.
with a bomb or something, right?
Yeah,
It's like a bomb under his car.
no, it's a car. It's just a car crash, I think.
Oh, yeah. But he like plans it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing with this Jason Momoa character,
And then they retcon it later so that Han's not dead.
yeah, yeah, of course.
They kind of just do whatever they want, and it's honestly a little bit admirable that they're just like, we want to do this, we'll figure out a way to do it.
I don't like it.
Well, like, I also don't like it.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said for them just literally doing whatever they want.
Yeah,
But it's also like, that's what I mean by like the franchise is goofy. Is there's just like so many moments where it's like, okay, I mean, I guess I'll go along with it.
But like,
know what I
so
mean?
here's the difference that I see in this movie. They're normal people who do like one crazy thing,
Yeah.
which is the safe pull.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, you can kind of do all the shit that they did in this movie. In the next, like, 4, they just gradually become superheroes. And they just
Yeah.
do whatever the fuck they
Well,
want.
yeah, even in this one, Dominic Toretto is a superhero, and they
Yeah.
even give him like a superhero entrance. We're like, this is the 5th one in the franchise, and they treat his first like entrance into the movie as like some mysterious.
Well, you first see him on the prison bus.
Well, yeah, you see him on the prison bus, and then all of a sudden, like,
That's a fucking great stunt.
when he pulls up, what's the other guy's name? Shane.
Yeah, something like that.
When he pulls up in like his Charger, his black Charger,
He's like,
and Shane's
"Ah."
there, and Shane's like, "Oh man," or something like that.
Yeah.
They don't show his face; you just see the silhouette of his bald ass
and
head,
you see that car.
and you see that car. But they like treat it so mysteriously, and then when he eventually shows up on the train heist, they like do some dramatic music swell when his silhouette comes out of the shadows. It's like,
He's the guy.
we know, yeah, but we know he's here.
But he's the guy.
But he is front. Like when this movie came out in theaters, he was front and center.
He's
on
the
poster.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but this is actually
He's the hero.
This is the best example of this. It's like if in Avengers Infinity War they did some like 10-minute build up to Iron Man showing up.
What
It's like, no,
happens
he's been here.
in Infinity War? How does it start?
In Infinity War,
They do that for Captain America.
well, yeah, but he'd like been gone for a while.
What do they do for Iron Man in Infinity War?
He just kind of shows
fights-
up. No, he literally just shows up at like the Doctor Strange's place. He just shows up.
Well, there you go. And
But that's what I'm saying.
That's why people don't care about him, though. That's why his
Yes, people
franchise
don't
is
care about
dead.
Iron Man.
That's why his franchise is
Yes,
dead.
that's why his franchise is dead. But like, you know what I mean, though. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
I
I'm not
do.
trying to attack the film. I just found it very silly that they're like it just seemed like a Vin Diesel thing.
Yeah.
Where Vin's like, we should make it so that they, when I appear on screen, it's like this big dramatic thing. And they're like, Vin, you've been in all of the movies. And he's like, yeah, but like, this would be a big entrance. And it's like, okay, Vin, whatever you want.
So, let me tell you a little information about why Justin Lin left Fast 10.
Okay.
From
'cause
what
I-
we've got.
I don't really know other
It
than
said
he was just
creative
annoyed.
differences.
Sure.
That was the sort of like the sort of business reason.
Which could mean anything.
But allegedly, Lynn left because Vin Diesel kind of sucked. He allegedly arrived out of shape, late, and didn't know his lines.
Not surprised.
Because, I get it, because he's like a movie star and he's like doing Groot, and Groot's hard to like get, Groot's a hard one to like figure out.
You do your best Groot impression.
Like, what age?
You choose.
I am Groot. I am Groot.
So, but here's the thing. I could argue you could be just as good, if not a better Groot.
It's so hard to learn those lines, though.
Yeah, well, he does at one point say, "We are Groot." So that
I didn't even remember that, man. How am I supposed to remember that?
And actually, I don't know if people know this, but like Baby Groot, when he's like dancing at the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 for like the entire opening credit sequence, that was mo-capped. That was like performance capture on Vin Diesel.
Those are Vin's moves.
Oh yeah,
but he was dancing to his songs like in his earbuds. That's why.
Yeah, his own songs.
Yeah, so the songs that he was like, James, pick a song that works with, whatever one of his songs is called.
Yeah, and James Gunn was just like, I guess. What
was
it? Fox on the Run? It was Mr. Blue Sky, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was Mr. Blue Sky.
They just chose one that they were like, this has the same BPM.
Yeah, this one's kind of like dog shit. And he also did 3 episodes, Justin Lin, of Community. He did Intro to Stats, Interpretive Dance, and Modern Warfare. I don't know if you know those. I know you're a bit of a Community boy.
I have a hard time with like episode titles with shows. Like I'm pretty sure Modern Warfare is a good episode. The other ones I'm sure are great too. I just don't remember.
So this movie has the practical stunt. This is my case for it being the best. And I'm not I know you're not debating me, but it has the practical stunts. It has the best team composition because I think Letty, at least in 4, is like fine. In the early movie, she's like fine.
I didn't feel myself missing Letty's presence, but I felt like Letty not being here made there be some weird vibe between Vin and The Rock's assistant.
Oh yeah, he has a child with her.
So that's what was so confusing, because the scene where they meet, Vin Diesel, or I guess Dominic Toretto, and I don't know her name.
I think it's Elsa or something.
Elsa. What country? Are they in Mexico?
They're in Brazil.
Brazil. The Brazilian
Brasilia.
cop.
You know when he says that?
But like when they first meet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're in Rio. What am I, stupid? Sorry.
Hey brother, it's up to you.
But like when they meet, I wrote down, I was like, why is there some like weird like why is Vin being so sensual and like weird right now?
Because in 8 we find out that they had a child, and that Charlize Theron's kidnapped the child, and then she fucking kills her.
The kid?
No, the Elsa Pasticki.
Oh, the cop.
Chris Hemsworth's wife.
That's Chris Hemsworth's wife? Goodness, there's so many. This is like a cobweb. Not even a spider web. This is a cobweb.
And, I wonder which Fast and Furious it was where... It might have been this one, actually. Where, that interview where he was like, I didn't know I was going to be speaking to Beautiful today.
Oh, man.
I think it might be this one. Because I think that woman was Brazilian. Not that they, don't talk to Brazilian people for the other ones. But, I think that was this era of Vin. Where he's on top of the fucking world, baby. He's got Riddick movies coming out.
Here's the thing. I wrote this down as well. Vin Diesel is both the corniest, worst part of these movies, in this movie specifically, but also the heart of the movie and what makes it work.
I think, yeah, for sure. Another thing that they just haven't figured out, in especially the last 2, is just the Paul Walker character thing. Because Paul Walker's obviously he's not a great actor, but he's got a specific charm. And he's got an everyman kind of thing.
He's kind of like the audience vessel.
Yeah. Where, you can relate to Paul Walker. Vin Diesel's not he's just kind of a goober guy. But you can't really relate to him. I guess maybe, some dads could relate to Vin Diesel, but that's
delusional.
Can I
say something mean?
Sure, man.
Pretty hard to relate to Gumby.
Is he Gumby? What do you mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean,
said that,
man?
I think mostly because his body looks like it's made out of Play-Doh.
Body shamer.
Well, no, sorry. That's not what I just mean like his skin is so smooth. He's smooth all around.
Well, yeah, you gotta shave that.
And he's muscular, but it's like
It's
very like like all of his muscles are just like balls.
They're bulbous.
You know what I mean?
He's a bulbous.
Yeah, he's very rounded.
Yeah.
Like his muscles are very rounded. So like, I don't know. I kind of on the similar topics. Sorry, Vin Diesel, if you're listening. Didn't mean to body shame.
If he's
you.
listening,
I just like.
I'm fucked.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm trying to make one.
Oh, a Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
Okay. Calder loves you.
I love your body.
Nice. That'll get you in. That'll get you into good graces.
Vin
But,
Diesel, you can show up late on set.
I really loved when Vin Diesel and The Rock had a fighting scene, because I just haven't really seen a fighting scene where both guys are just like slow but like hard. Like they're all just like whoom, big like swings, and like the impact is like low.
It took them 3 weeks to shoot that.
Goodness.
No,
gracious.
it took them 1 week to shoot that. Was it? Hold on. I think it was actually 3 weeks. And they also had to make sure that the fight was fair.
Yeah, it was
like
even.
in terms of
because neither of them want to ever lose in the movies.
Yeah, man.
That's ridiculous, man.
But this is the best Fast and Furious that The Rock. Like this is the best Rock performance in a Fast and Furious.
Oh, so, yeah. The Rock with a goatee is too powerful. It's just too much. Like I can't even look at him because I'm like, oh, that guy's gonna like rip my eye out.
I honestly think this is The Rock's peak, and it's only been downhill. Like he's done bigger projects and
Oh,
been
you mean
the
like
leading
peak
man.
as far as like him being good in things,
like
not
what
necessarily him
what he
succeeding.
does. Yeah.
Okay.
This is his peak of what he does.
Because like I would argue that peak of The Rock is like Jumanji Central Intelligence, not because Jumanji and Central Intelligence are his best
Jumanji's
movies.
pretty good. Oh,
I like Jumanji, but like mostly because like that was the year he had like 8 movies.
Yeah, in terms of like career peak,
Mm-hmm.
it's later. But this is like, if you could put this Rock in a lot of those movies, like the crappy ones like San Andreas and like this is the best use of The Rock.
Mhm.
It's not
Race
him
to
being
Witch Mountain.
not him being Black Adam.
Yeah.
I think
Does he have a goatee in the other Fast and Furious movies he's in?
yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Yeah.
And is he not in the franchise at all anymore?
No, he's done.
Yeah.
Because him and Vin had a fight, and then he did his spin-off because Vin didn't want him to do a spin-off, and then he did a spin-off, and then that one kind of failed, and then yeah, man,
Well, because who's
kinda
going
like
to see
high
a movie
school.
called Hobbs and Shaw?
I went to see it.
Well, yeah, because you're a Fast and Furious fan.
I was kind of like hoping Idris Elba would be interesting in it, but no. They also like. It kind of falls into the trap of.
You okay?
Oh God.
Are you okay, bud? You'd like having trouble in this episode. You're trying to get through it, but like, if we need to stop, we can stop.
Oh fuck! Is that skunk back?
I don't think there's been a skunk here.
Who's that little one? Who's that little girl crawling around back there?
Who's that little skunk girl crawling around back there? As far as the Rock thing, like, was it the Rock wanted a more prominent part and Vin didn't want that, or Vin was
The Rock
afraid
wanted
that
it to be more about him, and Vin didn't want it to be more about him.
okay,
So
like he wanted the
franchise
to like focus on the Rock.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
He wanted to be like the guy.
Because I disagree with that, Dwayne.
I honestly think this should have been the only one with The Rock in it. I don't think he's like particularly good or additive to a lot of the other ones.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I haven't seen them.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I saw the next one, but I don't really remember.
So this movie cost $125 million, and it made $626 million. It was the 7th highest growing movie of this year.
Grossing.
What do you think the first highest grossing movie of 2011 was?
2011.
You like this franchise. And it's...
Oh, I think I know.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Part 2.
Shit. Okay.
What do you think the second highest grossing movie of this
Wasn't
year
it wasn't it Fast 5?
No, this
Isn't
is
that
the
what
7th.
7th. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you said second.
Yeah.
Third, you're making me guess?
Second.
Or sorry, now you're guessing. I'm losing it.
You're guessing the second highest grossing movie of 2011. There is a point to this. I'm not just doing this to quiz you.
Inception?
No.
I don't even know if that came
Yeah, I think
out in
Inception
2011.
was the year before.
Okay.
Transformers Dark of the Moon, which also has Tyrese in it. Now, here's a little factoid. Tyrese was shooting both of these movies at the same time, so he had to fly between Puerto Rico, where they filmed this, because they didn't actually film it in Rio,
Okay.
and Atlanta.
I mean, all you have to do is have a little shot of the big Jesus, and the people will believe it's
Christ
in
the
Rio.
Redeemer?
Christ the Redeemer. There you go. I was forgetting what it was actually called. Big Jesus works, you know.
So they saved 11 mil by shooting in, I hope it is Puerto Rico. I did write it down. I like to try and remember things, but then I have a bad memory and I'm stupid
That's
sometimes.
okay.
It is Puerto Rico. They
Everybody's
saved
stupid
$11
once
million.
in a while.
They brought $27 million into the economy in Puerto Rico
Oh,
because
damn.
apparently there was like 13,000 extras that they hired, like people they hired as extras.
I mean, there's a lot of just random people in the movies.
Yeah.
But
That's like shocking. And there was like 250 technical advisors for all the stunts and shit. And then like everyone in the crew.
Dude, it's
and
kind
like,
of baffling to me that someone can just be like, I want to make a movie where there's a bunch of fast cars, explosions, and we drag a safe through a bunch of buildings and cars and fucking fly it around and it's breaking shit. And we're going to spend a lot of money on this. And it's just like, okay.
yeah, it's insane.
Like, it's not like anyone can just go do that. They made
No, but like that
4
this is
good
an
movies before
industry.
this,
But the fact that this is an industry. And
well,
like
it's just wacky that that's something that humans can do and want to do and then go do and then enjoy.
but they don't want to do it anymore.
What, make movies?
No, make them like this where they're practical.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So for that train scene, they basically had to build a length of railway. They had to build a railway to do it. And when they were like, they pulled all, they like, if you're doing this now, it kind of looks like Free Guy where they're just kind of doing it all CGI.
Yeah, it would be green screen 100.
But they're like yanking these cars off the fucking thing, driving them off there.
Oh, it looks really good.
When they crashed the truck into the train, it almost derailed the train, which would have like absolutely fucked them because they have to still keep going down the rails.
Yeah.
And there's like this Blu-ray has like all-time special
Features.
like special features. The commentary track's great. There's a whole thing about the safes and like them trying to figure that out.
Can I just be a real quick nitpicky negative Nancy real quick? So I think the whole train sequence, especially with the cars like flying off and like skidding on the sand, like it all looked really good. Or I don't think it was sand. I think it was just dirt. But like it looked really good.
They're in like the desert or something.
There was one shot where I noticed the CGI, and that's when Vin is pulling his car off, because you can tell that Vin Diesel himself is a CG double.
Oh yeah,
because you just see his face is just like default like
anger,
like NPC video game face, and then his body kind of like moves like gelatin. Anyway,
the only other noticeable one for me was like when they like also in that scene when they go off the cliff, because you see the way their body moves and it's like very
oh sure
which like just jump off, boys.
Yeah, just do it for real.
Smurfs 1 made like $600 million this year in 2011. Right behind The Hangover 2 and above Cars 2.
Yeah.
This movie won or was nominated for 5 Teen Choice Awards.
Can I guess them?
Yes,
Did you
of
write them
course.
all down?
Yeah.
Okay. Best VFX.
No, they don't do that.
Okay. See, here's the thing. I don't even know what
Teen Choice Awards is like actor, actress.
Is it like Best
stunts.
Kiss or is that VMAs?
That's VMAs. No VMAs for this movie.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
I'm going to go with like best action star or something. Is that
Yeah.
one? Like
Yes.
that's what that
yeah,
is
that's
one?
one of them.
Oh, cool.
But you have to say who.
Probably Vin.
Multiple nominations.
Oh, multiple nominations in that category? I'm going to say Vin, Paul, Dwayne.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Are you
There's-
counting that as one because it's one category, or is that...
That's 3.
Okay,
There's
that's
2 more.
Are they both different categories?
Yes.
I'm going to say best director, maybe?
No. I think one of these will really surprise you. Just go for the basic one. What could it be nominated for?
Best movie.
Yeah. And then one last one.
Best writing.
Best actress. Jordana Brewster.
The Cop?
No.
Oh.
That's Paul Walker's, like, the sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is very underserved in a lot of these movies. And since
Mhm.
Paul sadly passed, like, I guess in 2017, something like that, her character's gotten a little more play in the franchise.
Okay.
Because they were very much, like, tied together.
Yeah.
Because they were a couple in the movies and stuff like that. But she's sort of like, they've given her a little more to do by basically just saying Paul's watching the kids at home, which is kind
I
of
kinda
sad,
like
but
that,
like, it's nice to imagine that
it's nice to imagine that he's
Brian's
happy,
like
yeah.
at home just being like, oh, I'm taking care of the kids.
Yeah.
Um,
But then they also have to be like give a reason for her to want to risk her life even though she's got a family at home.
yeah. And it doesn't usually make much sense, but you're like, she doesn't deserve to not be in the movies because of that.
I do think she's quite good in this
Yeah.
movie. I think she's pretty good.
I don't think like her and Michelle Rodriguez, I think were okay in the first one, but after that, they're both pretty good. I just think Michelle Rodriguez's character gets better later on.
Yeah.
As she
She just gets more interesting.
and they give her this like weird amnesia plot thing.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, eh.
Where she's like kind of the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in Sick, she like is the villain too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think Jordana Brewster's really good in this movie. So what do you think about the fact that, and I kind of forget this part, that it's kind of like a pincer in terms of who's going after them. There's the cartel that's going after them, and also The Rock.
Yeah.
I think it works well to like keep ratcheting up the tension in the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of nice not knowing where the next threat's going to come from.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also allows The Rock, or Hobbs rather.
Luke Hobbs.
It allows Luke Hobbs and Dominic Toretto to kind of like find some common ground
Mhm.
because the cartel is actually the bad guy.
Yeah.
Although, like, at least for the first bit, like, Hobbs really is a bad guy.
Well, he's a cop, though, so you can do whatever you want.
But, like, him literally just being like, I don't ask questions about any task I'm given. I just kill the people or,
He's
like, bring
the
them
guy
in.
that hunts them down.
But he, like, I don't know. It's just, like...
As Brian O'Connor says, if they want to find a guy, they get Hobbs to do it. Who was your favorite person on the team?
I mean, it's hard not to pick Han, just because Sung Kang is so charismatic.
You gotta watch Better Luck Tomorrow.
Yeah?
I think it's like pretty good. It's a little slow, but like
Is it
he's
supposed
so
to be the
great
same
in it.
character?
Yeah, it's the same character.
Okay.
But he's great in that movie.
I just like I wrote down that he's so charismatic and he's so likable.
No one's like figured out Sung Kang, at least that I've seen in a movie that's not Fast and Furious.
I was so disappointed. He was announced to be in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
And then that show was horrible.
The show was the definition of a 6 out of 10. But like his role in it, he played an Inquisitor, which I was excited about, like an ex-Jedi who was hired to kill Jedi.
Yeah.
In the Empire era. But like they just put some green face paint on him and gave him a voice modulator and a goofy costume.
So it's like you could just literally put anyone in that suit.
Yeah. Like I couldn't tell it was him most
Yeah.
of the time.
There's no point in it being Sung Kang.
No, there's no
I'm glad he's getting the work.
Oh yeah, I'm glad he's
But,
getting
like,
paid, but like if you're going to get
this guy
Sung
is
Kang,
so
get him
much
to do something
better.
cool. Yeah, I don't know. But I feel like I guess the answer is Han, but I kind of want to think of the others because like that seems way too easy.
I can tell you who else is in it. There's Ludacris. There's
Well, no, I know who else is in it. Oh, you could still say it if you want, though. My bad.
Tyrese, Paul Walker, Jordana Brewster, Gal Gadot. Then there's also Leo and Santos, the 2 Spanish guys.
Yeah.
I like those guys.
I like those guys.
He's like,
when they showed
always
up, I
with
was
the
like,
negativity,
wait, are they in
man.
the crew? I've never seen them in anything before.
They're like fringe members.
Okay.
They like come in as like special when you need them kind of guys.
Okay.
But I just love that their dynamic where he's just like, you're always so negative, man. Like,
Yeah.
you got to come down. The guy's like, I'm not fucking negative. I'm just like, well, he doesn't say fuck.
Yeah,
They don't say fuck because they can't say fuck in the movie.
Except Hobbs does once.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, I've got 2 rules. I've got 2 things to say. One, I need so-and-so as my assistant. And then it's like, what's the second thing? Stay the fuck out of my way.
And then it does a big music drop, you know?
Yeah.
That's going to be good for editing.
Yeah, that's going to be really
I
good for
forgot.
me. I like the difference between the big peak of you saying done and then you talking normal, which is about 1/10 of the size.
I forgot.
There we go. That's good.
Is that better, brother? You can make me try and eat my ass.
I would probably say Tyrese.
Tyrese is good.
Yeah. What's his character's name? Wow, this guy's a fake fan.
Hold on, give me a second. Roman. Ludacris on the.
I'd say Tyrese is probably my second favorite after Han.
One thing I think, like Vin, it feels like he's still trying in this movie, and it's sort of debatable in the other Fast and Furiouses whether he's trying or not. And clearly, it seems like he wasn't ready to try for Fast 10.
Mm-hmm.
But in this movie, you can kind of tell he's still trying.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think along with that, it also is helped by the fact that this movie is shot like a real movie. We kind of talked about this, where like now it seems like they're lighting people for green screens. Like if you go watch the new Ant-Man, like everyone's like, there's no interesting lighting in that movie.
Yeah.
And there's
Regardless
only-
of how absolutely incredible the CGI is, if like that's what you're planning for and that's all you're doing, it's hard to find it real.
Yeah. And the lighting's just like, I guess we're trying to match the CGI, but like, I don't know. There's a ton of problems with that movie. But this movie's like actually lit like a real movie, and I think the best scene to show off like Vin still kind of trying and this like dynamic lighting is when he's talking to Brian on the
patio or the porch,
the balcony.
The balcony.
And they're talking about their dads, and Vin's like, I remember everything about my father. I love the way he says that. He's like, I remember everything about my father. And like they're doing that where like they're actually lit in like a normal way, and like it's like a real fucking movie. They shot a big blockbuster like it's a real movie for once.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore,
My
man.
father would stay up late to do homework with my sister. And
I don't remember
stay up
anything
even
about my
later
dad.
to learn homework for the next night.
How much do you think Vin made off this movie?
Probably
Like salary.
Probably too much, I'm gonna guess.
And keep in mind, like this, I'm not counting the producer fees he gets.
Sure.
But
Just
he
for
also
being an
gets
actor.
producer fees, yeah.
Okay. 10 mil, give or take a couple mil.
15.
I was gonna guess 12 mil, and then I was like, I feel I don't. It always sucks guessing too high because then the person's like, well, no, not that high.
But
I
I
was
mean,
kind of close.
then he made, like, if he makes 1% of box office,
Yeah.
make like $6 million.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if in negotiations Vin's like, I want more money, and they're like, Vin, you're gonna get so much from the percentage of the movie.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want more.
He's such an interesting character in Hollywood because, like,
Mark Sinclair.
aside from Fast and Furious, everything else he's tried to do kind of has failed.
Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, like the Pitch Black stuff, which is Chronicles of Riddick. XXX.
Yeah.
Last Witch Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the Pacifier or whatever.
Guardians of the
child's
Galaxy.
movie. But he's like I get that he's in that.
I know.
But he's not, right? It's like when we were talking about animated movies giving people making people stars, you could watch that and not know it's Vin Diesel,
Sure.
right? It's kind of like, it's a little different with Rocket because he has actual dialogue.
Yeah.
But like no one's like, oh, Bradley Cooper in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, right? No one's like, Vin Diesel is Groot.
I mean, I do think that Bradley Cooper's like pretty darn good in those.
He is, but
'Cause,
like when you watch it, you don't go, oh, that's Bradley Cooper. Like when you see
that's
Star-Lord.
why I think it's so good.
Really?
Yeah, I think that Bradley Cooper as Rocket is like one of the better parts of Marvel in general, just because like it's Bradley Cooper, but
Oh,
no one's
yeah.
like, let me think of Marvel stars. No
Yeah.
one says Bradley Cooper. Maybe some people say him like 38th when they're listing
No,
names.
I think he does a really good job at like actually playing Rocket.
Yeah, because like when I hear, oh yeah, you know who voices Groot? It's Vin Diesel. I go, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then like
Groot.
I hear that Bradley Cooper voices Rocket, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, brother. I think Bradley Cooper's good in those movies.
Yeah. Anyway, back on track. Mark Sinclair, Vin Diesel.
But I watched his first credit on IMDb is a short film called Multifacial, where he wrote and directed it and starred in it. And it's about a sort of like biracial or racially ambiguous guy, which is Vin Diesel. Like, I don't think anyone could tell me what his race is.
I would just guess
accurately.
like Cuban or something.
He's apparently, well, he says this in the short film, but it's apparently he's like half black,
Oh, okay.
which I don't think I would have guessed that. I would have guessed he was like some sort of Latino or something, Latin. Not like,
I mean,
anyway, we're getting in the weeds on
anyway.
Vin Diesel's race, but it's a
Sure.
very like,
Vin, if you're listening, let us know.
yeah, please comment down below. But that short film, he's really good in it. And it's like a really interesting take on the sort of dynamic of an actor auditioning for things when it's like they're like having him play Spanish roles. His managers are like having him go for Spanish roles and roles for black guys, but like maybe he's not black enough to play the role. Like that happens in it, but he can't speak Spanish either. But like
Yeah.
he can't really pass as a white guy. So like what does he do? And he acts really well in it. And he's like been in he was in Saving Private Ryan. He did like a Sidney Lumet movie.
He was in Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah,
I haven't
he's
seen
done
that
like
movie, so.
he's done a lot of good work. But he kind of realized like this is the thing that's gonna make me money and make me a star. In that short film he's talking about like, you know, Marlon Brando didn't do a Colgate commercial. You know, the great actors don't do these shitty roles.
Yeah.
But like now he's kind of found himself in a shitty role for money, because that's the trade-off that I guess you have to make these days is like, am I going to be an actor or am I going to have a living?
Yeah.
But like, it's easy to kind of shit on him and be like, he's just in the fucking Fast and Furious movies. But he's like that. It's an empire that he built in a way.
Yeah.
Which is like something The Rock hasn't been able to do. For all of Vin Diesel's failures, The Rock doesn't have a franchise where he's the guy.
Yeah.
And like a lot of other stars don't have a franchise where it's like they're the guy.
Jumanji.
But that's The Rock and Kevin Hart, right?
Yeah.
And it's also, this is Jumanji. You start Fast and Furious, it's just like, what the fuck does that even mean? The Fast and the Furious? And he just like, now it's one of the biggest franchises in the entire world.
Yeah.
He's such a strange, cringy, and interesting figure in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I think he's still like, I don't know. Apparently there's another Triple X coming out.
Sure, man.
I think he's trying to do some more Riddick movies.
Sure. Go ahead, pal.
But like, I don't know. I just
do some more Facebook Lives. I'm doing a live.
It's like he's so strange, man.
He's just a
Did you know
goofy
they
dude.
cross-promoted this movie with Car Town, the Facebook game? Where you had cars and you could
not
watch the
surprised.
trailer and buy tickets through Car
Dude,
Town?
I remembered Car Town for the first time in years the other day because I got an ad for a phone game that was basically just Farmville. And I was like, I remember playing Farmville on Facebook. And I was like, what other games? And I was like, Car Town, dude. I remember Car Town.
Car Town's good, man.
Man, I hate. Yeah, whatever.
I think Paul Walker's also interesting. I don't know if you've seen a lot of his like non-Fast and Furious stuff.
Yeah,
but like it's also all kind of not great.
Yeah.
He did this movie called Joyride with Steve Zahn, who is like okay, but it's like a low budget thriller movie. And then he did this movie called Brick Mansions in 2014, which is just fine.
Okay.
And then that's like all of his other movies, like Deep Blue Sea. I think he's in that with Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
Kind of failed. So like, I love Paul Walker, but he did not make a lot of other stuff for people to watch.
I haven't really seen anything else that he's been in. Mm-hmm. Aside from these,
but like
movies.
None of it's really worth watching is the thing.
Yeah,
like a lot of it's just kind of schlock.
Yeah,
schlocky. Let's get into questions because we're kind of running late into the episode, and I'm just kind of reminiscing.
Yeah, I mean, I figured most of this episode would be you like talking about the movie and me being like, I guess
should we talk about like the plot of the movie?
I guess so. So. Dom's been arrested. Mm-hmm. Do you want me to try to sum it up? Dom's been arrested, but then he gets broken out by Paul Walker and
Jordana Brewster. Then all three of them become fugitives, like highly wanted.
And then they're just running away, I guess, for a bit. Oh yeah, and then the cartel like wants a specific car.
Yeah.
So they take the car and
they do the train robbery.
They take the car. Mm-hmm. They try to figure out what is in it that they want, and they find a microchip that has like shipping schedules.
Cartel shipping schedules.
For like tens of millions of dollars.
Yep.
They get a crew together because they're going to bust this mofo. Then
they're going to steal all the money from the cartels.
Yeah.
Because they shot. Well, actually, no, that's not true. They didn't. It's not because they shot someone. But they're going to steal all the money from the cartels.
Yeah. Well, they just want enough money to, like, get away, basically.
Yeah.
And to go to a country that, like, doesn't, have extradition?
Yeah, but all those countries that they named do extradite to the United States.
Do they?
Yes.
Cool. Well, great to know. Why would they say those countries then?
Because, like, what are you going to say? Like,
Russia?
Pitcairn Islands? They said Moscow. Hong Kong.
Okay. Anyway. Then the Rock's also there. They, like, figure some shit out. They steal a big vault. Mm-hmm. They do a little tricksy oopsie where they swap the vaults.
Tricksy oopsie.
Because
they
get
take the
caught,
vault down the
but
bridge.
It's empty, and they actually have the full one.
And they do some incredible stunts. You know when they cut the top off that car?
Yeah.
There was a real man in that car. A real driver.
I mean, yeah, I saw him.
And he had to, like, duck.
It was like, that's bad.
Dude, I know no one has the Blu-ray, and I don't think there's any way to watch the special features, but if you can find the special features, and you're interested in how they made this movie, I would highly recommend it. Yeah. The special features are incredible. And the Justin Lin commentary on the movie, because it's just him that does it, so he's just kind of like, yeah, there was like a little ramp there, so they like had to hit the car on that ramp to make it flip, and then like when it hit the train, it like almost took it off, and like he's just describing everything.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's almost like watching a whole different movie.
I mean, kind of.
Okay, can I quickly go just like blast through my notes and say anything I thought was significant?
But if you do say something wrong, I'm gonna scream.
Okay. Oh yeah. They literally could have murdered Dom by flipping the prison bus. The way they save him is by making the prison bus he's on barrel roll 17 times.
No, it's fine, because they're strapped in. They're chained in.
Even if they don't kill him, they might have killed a bunch of random other
but like
people.
It doesn't matter if they kill the other people.
I had one note that just said, "This action is high octane, brother."
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Do you remember what that was at? Like the chase scenes or anything? I think the chase scenes are also really well done.
Vin Diesel blocking a crowbar
With
like
his
it's
hand?
nothing. Well, he's just like blocking it with his arms. He gets hit with a crowbar like 8 times and it makes a clang sound.
Well, because they didn't have this in this movie, but in Fast and Furious 3 Tokyo Drift, it's implied that he has gotten titanium forearms installed.
Actually?
No.
Okay.
I like how you kind of believed it.
Well, because it's just like he gets hit with a crowbar like 8 times and it just goes. I don't know how that's going to pick up. I just hit myself in the head with a water bottle.
We'll see.
Just a couple more things. Vin looks very goofy hanging by his wrists when the cartel kidnap him and Paul.
When they're like,
He's just hanging there like a bag of sand.
Yeah,
It
it's
just
good.
looks, it's kind of funny. Oh yeah.
What do you think about the like street racing thing?
Oh, I kind of like that scene where they're like trying to win, and then like Vin Diesel kind of lets Paul Walker win.
Well, I meant the one before, but I also do like that scene. You know, in that scene, how the one car has the lights flashing?
Yeah.
That was a malfunction, but they kept it in because it was Roman's car, and that's something Roman would do.
What, like flash them?
Yeah, like turn the lights on.
That's kind of good.
But you know the like street racing one where they go to the underpass and they're like, I want that blue Porsche, and they meet that guy.
Oh yeah, and they don't even show it.
Yeah, and then
I
they just
kind of
drive
like
in
that
with
they don't show it.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Because it's like, oh, I don't know, this is a big risk, Dom. Oh, we got it.
And then it comes back when they go there to get protection from The Rock.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is Brasilia. This is my Vin Diesel voice.
Sure.
Or something like that. Mama Brazil. Mama Brasilia?
Yeah.
Is that what he says?
I think so. I don't know.
Mama Brasilia.
Sure. Oh yeah, when when Hobbs is like has his convoy attacked by like RPGs with the cartel and
of course, yeah.
What a traumatic day for him. He saw like
his whole crew die.
Yeah, his entire crew of like 8 people.
And I liked his crew. I think his crew's like pretty good.
Yeah, I kind of like them.
Yeah.
But they all die. He's like surrounded by fire and debris. He's being saved by the guy he's trying to kill. Or not kill, but kidnap.
And Vin Diesel comes up to him with a shotgun. He thinks he's going to get his head blasted off.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't, though.
What a traumatic day.
But that's how you join the family.
Oh yeah, also on the note of when they go back to the drag racing, or not drag, is it?
Yeah, it's drag racing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like when they go there and they're just like, I don't know, this is Brazil. You can't really just get us here. You're kind of outmanned, blah blah blah. And they're just like goofing on him the whole time.
Yeah.
The Rock is sweating.
Oh yeah, he's wet this movie. He's wet in this movie. He's a wet boy in this movie.
He is sopping wet.
Yeah, but that's like we watched the Tyrese House tour, and he said The Rock got the baby oil on his chair, and it cost him $300.
So true. So true.
Watch the Tyrese House tour as like a second screen experience.
Yeah, it was really good. Okay, 2 more things. 3 more things is what I meant to say. Most of the end of this film is just destruction porn. They're just destroying things.
Yeah. They
Cars,
destroyed
buildings.
over 200 cars. Wait, was it 200 or 2,000? Keep going.
Oh yeah. Well, oh shit. What was I? Oh yeah. What's so Paul Walker's girlfriend, wife, fiance? She's on the radio, and they like barrel the safe through a bank, and she's like smiling, and she goes, "Did you guys just take out a bank?" It's like you almost murdered many people. They literally had an inside shot.
It was an accident.
Yeah, but they're like these people are all sociopaths anyway. Oh yeah, Hobbs. Like when they finally get Reyes, Reyes is like climbing out of his crashed car, like Reyes is like the president of.
No, he's a Colombian cartel leader.
Okay, I thought he was like a high position in the.
No, he's not like a government.
I thought he was just corrupt or something. But regardless, Hobbs just does a double shot in his head.
Let's go
while he's on the ground.
Kill that man.
And then he says something like, "Ruin my fucking day" or something. Like I forget what he says, but he just says some line where he's like, he doesn't care. And it was just like kind of surprising that he
Job's
just
done.
shot him.
What if he hit him with a "Job's done, job's done"?
That would be really good. And last thing, my favorite line in the entire movie.
Let's go.
I'll just say the whole like dialogue bit, ending with the favorite line. Hobbs's introduction scene, and a guy comes up and says, "I've got good news and bad news," and Hobbs says, "It's always nice to start with dessert," and then the guy gives him the good news, and he's like, "What does he say?" I wrote it down specifically. "Give me the damn veggies."
You like that? You like when he says that?
It just like threw me off because he was being so cool and like
But his
badass.
dialogue's like not cool.
He's like, "Give me the damn veggies." What are you talking about? Anyway, so that's definitely one that I'm going to be using soon. Calder's doing the bit that there's a skunk, but this time he farted. He didn't put the mic up to it, but he farted towards me, and now he's acting like he's dying again. So I just think "Give me the damn veggies" is a hilarious line, and I'm going to start using it in real life.
If anyone gave you the damn veggies, you'd be shitting your pants. Do you like Vin Diesel?
No.
Really?
I mean, like, I'm trying to think of a good comparison. I like him like I like...
Ryan Reynolds?
No.
More or less than Ryan Reynolds?
Less.
You like him less than Ryan Reynolds?
Probably.
I feel like I'm making Ryan Reynolds sound like a demon.
I like Ryan Reynolds. I don't like Ryan Reynolds acting in a lot of movies.
Yeah, I don't like his like recent kind of movie.
Vin Diesel to me just seems like just a goof. But like not like what a goofy guy, but like, man, this guy is a goof.
Okay, interesting.
I don't
that.
want to be too rude. I don't want to blast anyone on here. But like,
But he's got a bit of boomer energy to him.
Yeah.
And he'll say things that are very uncomfortable, like when he's like, "I didn't know I was talking to gorgeous, to beautiful. You're the love of my life." He's got a wife and 4 kids.
you know what I think it is? He strikes me as someone who, like, as a kid didn't quite develop like the
Didn't, like,
social
fit in.
intelligence, and like, I don't know if social intelligence is the right, but like
Emotional intelligence?
Well, I mean social. Like, he doesn't pick up on social cues.
Social skills.
Social skills. He doesn't really have them. But like, before he was able to learn those, he like became really like rich and successful,
Yeah.
and now doesn't really need to learn those because
He's just got an interesting like way about how he exists.
yeah, he's got a vibe for sure.
Which is at some points uncomfortable and at some points just kind of silly and funny.
Yeah, I do think
I
that,
think he errs to the side of silly and funny most of the time when
Yeah.
he's not like maybe kind of harassing people interviewing him.
yeah. Yeah.
I think I should mention that the South American reviewers did not like this depiction of Rio de Janeiro as a sort of drug-filled, hot woman-filled, crime-ridden city.
Yeah.
Just to put that out there, because I feel like there should be some sort of contrary points or mention that like the depiction of Brazil in this movie is not great,
Yeah.
but like they didn't shoot it in Brazil, so they can do whatever the hell they want.
Well, yeah, they literally like walk down a street and immediately like 12 guys pop out with AKs.
Hey, that's
like,
what happened. You're in the
is
favelas.
that really what's happening? Just like,
I know Brazil's like generally dangerous because there's just a lot of like poverty,
sure.
but like I'm not sure if it's quite like this.
I don't think
It's
it's
not as
like you walk
cartoonish
down the
as this.
street and like a bunch of people come out with AKs.
Yeah.
But it's probably like if you're a tourist and people can tell that you're a rich American tourist, you might get jumped by a couple guys.
Yeah.
Like that seems more reasonable.
And
It's like if you go flashing your cash around, you might get...
and you like to flash that cash. And you like to flash that ass.
I haven't held cash for years.
I recently held cash because I shouldn't say that.
What?
What role would you want on the team?
Like
I
what
killed
job?
someone. Yeah.
You'd kill someone?
No.
I don't know. I feel like not that I have the skills to do this, but I just think it would be a fun job.
What skills do you have of the people on this team? Who was expecting to have any of the skills on
sex
this team?
appeal.
So you're replacing
Gal Gadot probably.
I don't think that
the
guy
scene
would,
where
I don't
she
think
like
he'd
strips
grab
into her
that ass.
bikini to get the
handprint.
the handprint. Like I think I could do that. But
I
that's not
don't.
what I would choose.
Okay.
I think what I would choose is like I think Ludacris being like the car guy, the guy who like tunes up the cars
Tech
or
guy.
like fixes the cars and like
Yeah.
knows. Yeah, I think he's the.
I feel like I'm the
One I'd probably
Tyrese. Or I'd want to be at least.
Sure.
Maybe I'm a little closer to like Vin or Paul Walker because like
Leader.
I'm the main character.
Yeah.
You're a little NPC.
Yeah. Well, I'm
And-
not an NPC. I'm a side character though.
No,
So where are we ranking this? Oh wait, Adam
we're not
Driver.
there yet.
Okay, not even there yet.
Does this make you interested in the other Fast and Furious movies?
I mean, like they're movies that like I'll watch, but like I'm not gonna go out of my way. That's just
Okay.
the truth.
Is this The Rock's best performance that you've seen?
Honestly, maybe. I don't know, man.
I think this is one of his better ones. I think he's pretty good in Jumanji, the first one.
Yeah, that's the only one I was really debating.
Like, it's not like he's acting like a kid very well.
Well, because
but, like,
for a sec I was like, because he's acting like a completely different type of character.
Mhm.
But like him and Kevin Hart are both kind of just doing themselves.
Yeah.
Jack Black is even Karen Gillan is just kind of being like slightly awkward.
Yeah.
But it's mostly just Jack Black who's actually playing a different kind of character. I haven't seen the second Jumanji. Apparently, The Rock does a little bit more in that.
Well, because he's like, I don't know if he's Danny DeVito or Danny
I
Glover.
think he's Danny DeVito.
Yeah. The second one's fine. I saw that in theaters for some fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite wrestler turned actor? And I'll give you a couple options that I thought of.
Can I pop some off?
Sure, I'll give you my options.
Just because
first,
you
though.
wrote some down, right?
Yeah.
So I want to see if I can guess them.
Oh, okay.
The Rock,
Of course.
Dave Bautista,
Yeah.
John Cena.
Yeah. That's kind of it.
That's kind of it.
There's like Hulk Hogan made some movies, but like
Has Roman Reigns done anything?
he was in Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh,
as,
really?
Like, one of the Rock's brothers or something.
Okay, interesting.
Roddy Piper. He was in They Live. He's pretty good in They Live, the John Carpenter movie. I think the best actor is probably Batista.
Yeah.
I think I just like him out of the other guys as well. I think John Cena's good sometimes.
I think Dave Bautista is the best dramatic actor, but I think
John Cena's probably the best at comedy.
yeah.
But Dave Bautista's pretty good at the comedy stuff as well.
Yeah.
But I guess he plays it a little differently. I think The Rock is probably just...
I'll be
The Rock-
honest, the only reason I'm like slightly hesitant to say Dave Bautista is because we recently watched Stuber.
Yeah, but that's just also a bad movie. Like, he's
That's
good in
true.
Knives Out, or Glass Onion or whatever. I think The Rock is just, like, kind of become too much of a thing.
Yeah.
He's
I
too
know
much of,
exactly.
like...
He because I remember kind of having this epiphany where I was like, I kind of like really like The Rock. Like,
Yeah.
He's not a great actor, but he seems like a great guy.
Mhm.
I kind of just really like him. And then like within the next 5 years, I saw him just like explode
Mhm.
to the point where I was like, I don't really like he's too big.
Yeah.
Like he's The Rock.
He's too famous. He's become too
Yeah.
ubiquitous.
Where it's like you're not hiring him to be in your movie because you think he's the best actor for the job. You're hiring him because he's The Rock.
Yeah. He was kind of became like a Schwarzenegger kind of
Yeah.
presence, like one of those 80s action heroes. But he's just not as good.
No.
And the movies he chooses aren't as good.
Well, that's the main thing is he's also just been in so many stinkers.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him do something different than just like boring guy in boring action movie.
Yeah. Like San Andreas and like
That's why I want to see Central Intelligence, but even that's like an action comedy.
Central Intelligence is like fine. But like
just wanted to see him
San
do other
Andreas
stuff.
Rampage,
Yeah.
there's like 6 Skyscraper, like that's all the same fucking movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe he'll come back after his Black Adam sort of tailspin. But what would you do with the 11 mil you got from the heist?
Probably like get a better apartment.
Interesting. Okay.
Get a really nice PC.
So you've spent, let's say maybe $1 million on the apartment.
Honestly, actually, I'd probably use a lot of the money to like invest in like getting a good set, like a good work setup.
What's that going to cost you? Like $10,000?
You want me to say every dollar of $1 million?
No, I mean
dollars,
like
or,
do something fun.
Okay.
Like what kind of apartment? You said get a better apartment. Are you just renting one that's like $3,000 a month instead of like whatever?
Fine. I'd get like a nice Toronto apartment or something.
There you go. There's like $1 million.
And then I'd
you get
pump
10
in a couple other million so that I can have like a secret room behind a bookshelf or something.
I think we're going
where there's like a theater and like a bunch of like every gaming system that exists.
Yeah, gizmos and gizgots.
Gal Giz.
Is she good in this movie? You know they don't say her character's name once
Really?
in the entire movie.
Interesting.
They don't say Giselle.
Can I say a hot take that's not a hot take at all?
Yeah, sure.
Not only do I not think she's that great in this movie, I don't know if I've seen Gal Gadot in anything where I was blown away.
Yeah. Red Notice. You'd like Red Notice.
I haven't seen Red Notice, and you've told me I wouldn't like Red Notice.
But it's got The Rock in it as well.
And Ryan Reynolds.
Do you want to know the twist of Red Notice?
What?
The Rock and Gal Gadot are married.
The whole time?
Yes.
Like the twist at the end is that they've been married
Yeah.
the whole time?
They're working together.
Interesting.
Why has franchise entertainment basically fallen off since this?
Franchise entertainment?
Just in general. Like with the Marvel stuff, I guess was still getting... The Marvel stuff was still going up. DC stuff was still going up. And in the last, 5 years, kind of since 2018-ish,
Sure.
it's all just kind of been going downhill.
You know what I think it is? I think the MCU succeeded. And I think both Disney with the MCU and then also their other properties like Star Wars, but also other companies like Warner Brothers, Paramount, whatever. Literally whatever.
Like with DC.
Yeah. I think all of them just went, man, the MCU is so successful. They're pumping out so much content. We got to have some big ass franchise where we're just shoving shit out because people are going to watch it. And that's why Star Wars had way too many movies in such short a span and then so many shows, and why Marvel is so oversaturated and nobody really gives a shit anymore.
Ant-Man's made it made $30 million, or is supposed to make $30 million this weekend.
Yikes.
Came out last weekend.
Yeah.
Rough, man.
I just don't think anyone cares anymore.
Yeah.
It's just it's the same thing with the Disney remakes.
Yeah.
It's no one's asking for these. You're just betting on people giving you money.
Being bored enough to give you money.
Yeah. It's like with the Netflix doing the password sharing thing, and how I saw an article that was business insiders say that other streaming services are going to follow suit. It's then we're not going to watch anymore, dumbasses.
Yeah.
It's we don't owe you any of our time or any of our money just because we liked a movie or two that you made before.
Yeah. And
it's just frustrating that it's well, we can kind of do whatever and put as little effort as we want because people are going to see it anyway.
Yeah.
And the sucky part is that there is some truth to that. They could make the most dog shit Fast and Furious movie.
I'd still probably go see it.
Yeah, people
Opening
would still-
weekend.
Excuse me, but you're also a fan of the franchise.
Yeah.
Even not massive fans of the franchise. It makes hundreds of millions of dollars overseas.
Yeah. It makes a lot of money in China.
Yeah, but
The last one was only profitable because it made a bunch of money in China.
Yeah, and I think it's reached this point where it's not that we need more movies that are high budget, but I look at Dune, I look at Avatar: The Way of Water, which apparently less people liked than I initially thought. But
Yeah.
but like I look at those two movies and I'm like, I'm way more interested in seeing what's next in
that,
those franchises than I am in the MCU, DC, even Star Wars. And I'm a Star Wars boy. That's what I am.
Yeah, but Star Wars has kind of fallen off.
Yeah.
Like Andor, I guess, was
great.
the one. I haven't watched it, but everyone has said it's like one of the best Star Wars things.
Yeah, but it's like,
so now they've got like 2 good movies and a show.
well, this is the problem. They didn't care about Andor really because it was a side character from one of the movies. No one really knows who he is really, unless you're like a big fan. So they didn't really care about that. So they just like were like, okay, do whatever.
But they still got Tony Gilroy to do it.
Sure. But like it's also because I think he wanted to do it. And it's really good.
Yeah.
But then stuff like the Obi-Wan
Like
show.
who the fuck made the Obi-Wan show?
Deborah Chow, who did some of the Mandalorian episodes.
Okay.
But like, it's more that like they didn't give Obi-Wan the budget, or like they gave it a lot of press. But like they didn't give it the budget, they didn't give it the production. They filmed basically the entire thing on the volume, which like the volume is a great bit of technology, but like when you only do it on the volume, it you just lack this.
There's
like,
no connection
depth.
to like the movie,
Yeah.
to the real world. They did that with Quantum Mania too. It was all in the volume.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, they use the volume for some of The Last of Us, but it's maybe like
It's not
2
the
or
whole
3
thing.
shots per episode.
Yeah.
Like, basically everything else is real.
Or they'll like build the set in the volume so that there's actually real world shit,
Yeah.
and then just be like the background is
yeah,
CGI or like volume.
exactly. But it's just this thing of like, okay, the Obi-Wan I know I'm kind of going on a tangent.
That's okay.
But like the Obi-Wan Kenobi show should have been one of the biggest focuses of Disney era Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because that's literally tying the 2 George Lucas trilogies together by highlighting 2 of the main characters. But they just like put in like 6.5, 7 out of 10 effort. And it's like, I don't know. It's just so frustrating that I think they were just like, well, it's called Obi-Wan Kenobi. People have been asking for it. We got Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen back. People are going to watch it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, people watched it, but now people are like not really interested because they're like, oh, things are kind of shit now.
And like Mandalorian season 3's kind of coming out soon.
Yeah.
I think.
And I hope it's good.
I don't care about it though, because I know that they put 2. Like, there's 2 Mandalorian episodes in the Book of Boba Fett, so now I have to watch the Book of Boba Fett.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up.
To see that Grogu and Mando are reunited? Like, why would they do that in a separate show? Oh, he's standing up. He's readjusting.
Yeah. My biggest criticism of, like, MCU stuff is that, like, you can't watch one thing without having watched so many other things because they tie in. Like, even Guardians of the Galaxy. I hope that the 3rd one is good because it would be nice for that to just be, like, a good trilogy.
Yeah.
But, like...
There's something in the Christmas special that I think is going to be important.
Yeah, it's things like there's something in the Disney Plus Christmas special that will be relevant to the 3rd one, but also in between the 2nd and 3rd one was the entirety of Infinity War and Endgame. So they have to address that. So it's like I can't just watch that trilogy without the other context now.
Yeah.
But like the same thing happened in Star Wars now, where like
you can't just watch Mando. You have to watch Book of Boba Fett too.
Yeah. No one wants to watch Book of Boba Fett. It was like an okay show, but like even if it was really good, The Mandalorian is like the most successful thing that Disney's done with Star Wars.
Yeah. And then they just kind of like put some shit into this other show so people would watch the other show.
And it's not even like just some random shit.
It's like
important plot points.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is just so your initial thing you brought up was like, why are franchises kind of like falling apart? And I just think it's because it got to the point where everyone was just watching everything. So then studios were like, I guess we don't really have to try.
Yeah.
But now everything's just bad and people are like, well, I don't really want to watch
And
it.
it
then.
seems like they're kind of like they are doing it to themselves, the studios.
Yeah.
But the audience is going to be fucking blamed for it.
Yeah.
Even though like we're just getting shit on. Like with the Netflix password sharing thing, like that's going to be blamed as like users are leaving the platform, but it's like no, Netflix is increasing the price every year. It's like $20 a month to have Netflix now.
It's the whole all of this kind of boils down to like every company, every studio, every whatever, they're just doing things for their investors.
Yeah.
Like they just need to make their investors happy. And for most contexts, whether it be a business, production studio, whatever, like all the investors care about is increasing profits, not maintaining profits, increasing profits.
And hoping their stock is still high. Because, like,
yeah,
logically, if you literally just think about the business model of streaming, a first-year business student could tell you that that is stupid and it's not going to work.
Yeah.
If your thing is, we're going to put, like, for Netflix,
Yeah.
we're going to put $200 million into the gray man and give it to people for essentially free, because people have been paying for Netflix subscriptions for years.
Yeah.
How are you going to make that money back in any significant way? Like,
but that's
truly.
the thing. The business plan is that you make Netflix a necessity in everyone's home, and then you bump up the prices like crazy, and people are like, "Oh, I
But
guess
even
we
then, they're
have
not
to."
making fucking money, man. Like, it's dumb. It's been a bad business model since it started.
Yeah.
And they're just, like, admitting it now. Because, like, Disney Plus is not making any money.
Yeah.
Netflix doesn't make any money. These things don't make any fucking money.
So I've been using my mom's Netflix. She's probably going to cancel it because they don't really use Netflix very much.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay for my own personal Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, Netflix is just going to disappear soon for me if they keep this password sharing thing. And then if other streaming services introduce it, I'm also going to stop those.
Yeah, like, how are you supposed to afford all this shit?
You're not. It's literally going back. Like, streaming services became popular because people didn't want cable anymore.
Yeah.
Because it was too expensive. And now it's become just as bad, if not worse, than cable was.
But it's worse than cable also because, like, at least with cable you get, like, 100 channels.
Yeah.
With this, you get like 50 good movies and then a bunch of dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, truly, that's what a lot of these streaming services are. Is like 50 good movies and then a bunch of back catalog bullshit.
And here's the thing. This isn't directed at anyone. This is just knowing, like, I've had this thought and then thought it through and came to this conclusion. I'm sure that there are other people having this thought. Because I think there's some people that are like, well, I don't want to cancel my Netflix. Like, how am I going to watch The Office?
Yeah.
How am I going to watch Breaking Bad? How am I going to watch all these shows I love? It will cost you less. If you genuinely love The Office and use Netflix to
just
watch The
buy
Office,
The Office
on
DVDs.
end, literally just get The Office on disc.
Yeah. Or just download it
digital
on
download.
like iTunes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or just fucking pirate it.
truly.
Like,
Sail the Seven Seas.
and-
I so please, oh please, hope that people don't cave in to these streaming services and pay way too much. Like, please just cancel it and find other avenues. We survived before, we can survive after.
the
It's just
shows
like-
aren't even that fucking good either.
and if they are, they still cancel them.
There's Stranger Things on Netflix. What else are you like? I can't wait for that to come out.
That's like an exclusive to
yeah,
the
like
platform.
what else do you watch where you're like, oh wait, that's coming out on Netflix?
On Netflix, nothing. The only streaming service that has exclusive stuff
That you care about?
that I care about is
Disney
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And that's just because they have Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, that's truly it.
So I just kind of like, I feel like there's got to be and this one's got much longer.
Yeah. The tail end of this has just been us talking about
There's
the
got to be like
industry.
a reclamation where in business there's only two ways to make money. I heard this saying. You either bundle things together or unbundle them. We've been unbundled. Everything's been unbundled.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have to bundle up again, start paying for like a $60 thing a month for these streaming services and shit. They're going to
Yeah.
get all tied up into one. And it'll like probably have an interface literally like cable TV where you can flip through the channels and shit's just playing. Because another thing that I kind of miss is just being able to drop into a movie. You can't just drop into a movie these days. You have to like
in the middle?
Yeah, like on cable.
I have no interest in that personally.
Well, you're a bit of a freak. But like if you've seen a movie and you're like, oh, we're like halfway through Fast 5. I'll watch the chase scene.
I have had it where I was like visiting my parents and I turned on the TV and I was like, oh, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Like it's not going to happen every day.
Sure.
But it's nice to have that option when you're just like lazy and you're like, I don't want to watch The Office the 9th time.
I also just like, I don't miss like watching shows live as they're like being aired for the first time. Like there is something fun about that. But like, the big problem I have with Netflix specifically is almost all of their shows they just dump.
Yeah, there's no like excitement to when a show is coming out.
They've just genuinely fumbled it so hard because like when you dump a whole season, people talk about it for a couple days, maybe a week, and then it's done.
Yeah,
they kind of learned with the Stranger Things.
They didn't learn with the Stranger Things. They just dumped it twice.
Yeah,
like they don't get any credit for that from me.
But like that's why I do commend Disney Plus and some other streaming platforms for like when you release something every week, then like people talk about it consistently, get excited about it. It's easier to become a fan of something when it's prolonged.
And you can talk about the new episode with people. If you're talking about a show that's just dumped, you have to be like, wait, so what episode are you on? Or like, have you watched the whole thing? Because then we can talk after you've watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
But if we don't talk after you've watched the whole thing, I'm probably going to spoil something for you.
Yeah. But like when it's something like The Last of Us as well is weekly.
Yeah.
Where it's a new episode every week.
Because HBO.
Yeah. So when I'm talking to people about that, I can just be like, seen the most recent episode? Instead of being like, oh, I'm on the episode where...
Because you don't even remember the episodes when it's a binge.
Yeah.
You don't remember like what episode number
I can't even differentiate the seasons of Stranger Things.
And you haven't seen the last 2 of Stranger Things season 4? Which isn't like, I'm not trying to call you up, but if it was weekly, you'd probably have watched those by now.
Oh, yeah, probably.
But you're just kind of like,
it was just like...
They're each 2.5 hours.
I started, and then I was in the Stranger Things zone, so I watched like 8 episodes at once. And then I was like, kind of Stranger Things'd out.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, we just like... In the title, we're going to have to put Fast
Hollywood.
5, and then in brackets, and the movie industry.
Sure, man.
I'm not going to do that.
Adam Driver.
Ooh.
I think he could play the guy they go to visit in Brazil the first time who has the child. You know that guy?
No.
When Paul Walker and Jordana Brewster drive up and then he's like, they're with me.
Oh, yeah.
Like Luke or whatever. Sean. I don't know what
Shane?
Shane, sure.
Oh, him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think he could play that guy.
Yeah.
I think he could play... I feel like he could do a bit of an interesting Han.
I was going to say he could do Han. Maybe it's just the hair, but...
He could also just easily probably be Paul Walker, because he's got a bit of... Actually, he might not be charming and goofy enough for that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if... I wouldn't call Paul Walker's character goofy.
No, I mean... He's not goofy, but he is a goofy actor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. This is a weird one to place Adam Driver in.
I think maybe it's Han.
Yeah, maybe.
The Rock? Could he
maybe
play Luke
Ludacris?
Hobbs? Maybe he's just a guy on Hobbs' team.
Yeah. Maybe he plays the...
Gal Gadot?
Sure, yeah. I want to see him do the bikini scene.
Yeah, me too, man.
I don't know. This is a weird one for Adam Driver.
I think...
Let's just say Han.
Yeah. Han or someone on Hobbs' team.
Sure.
Honestly,
he might do a good Hobbs.
Yeah.
Like, he's a pretty big guy.
Give me the damn veggies.
Wait. Every day I wake up and I want you to give me the veggies. Is that good?
That's good. Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Wait, write that as a catchphrase. Every day I wake up in the morning and I want you to give me the veggies.
That's a 7, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I mean, I didn't really come up with it.
What about this catchphrase?
Said like that every time?
Yeah, I'll use it in a sentence.
Sure.
We gather here today for my mom's funeral. She was a beautiful woman and a wonderful and kind lady, but now we must bury her with the worms. Just dump her body, no casket, right into that hole. Goodbye, mother. See you on another plane of existence.
We're entering that zone where I feel like I'm going to let out a really loud wheeze that I'm going to have to lower the gain on later. I'm just losing it all of a sudden.
Yeah?
Just something about that whole weird
Rate
bit.
the cat phrase.
Cat phrase?
Get the cat phrase.
Oof.
He's licking in the back of his hands?
No,
Oh
not
my.
really. Wait. Let me try and do a
He's
cat
cleaning
purr.
himself with his tongue.
That was me trying to do a cat purr.
You sound like a little goblin.
Rate. Oh, no. That one? Honestly,
Adam, stop licking
8.
your ass.
8. I just think that's very. Here's the thing. I think your sentence example was really bad.
Are you ready for this?
But I think that catchphrase could be used in many contexts. So
Get funky with it. Where are we ranking this one?
that's a great question. I did actually. This is the first time I kind of looked at the list beforehand and was like, where would I put this?
I want to hear what you have to say.
If I were to choose, and you want my honest opinion.
I'd like you to lie to me and then tell me your honest opinion.
Okay, I'll lie to you. Number 1. Okay, time for the truth. He's upset. Oh, man. You're going to hate this. We'll figure it out, though. I promise you we'll figure it out. My gut is to put it at 12 under the Batman.
Are you smoking crack? It's better than the Batman.
Okay, actually, my first sec was like, I like the Batman. My first instinct was to put it at 10 below Turning Red.
Honestly, I think I'd put it above John Wick. I think it's a better action movie than John Wick.
Okay. I disagree.
You do?
I'd rather watch John Wick than this movie. I think this is like, what's the word? This is like very extravagant, like massive
Blockbuster,
scale
yeah.
blockbuster's the word I was looking for. Like blockbuster action, whereas John Wick is very like choreography action,
Yeah.
which I think I just generally enjoy a bit more.
So what if we just put it above Turning Red? Below John Wick.
Below John Wick, above Turning Red? I'm
At
fine with
number 9.
that. 9. Actually, let me just see how that looks. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm okay with
Fast 5, baby.
that. Man, I can't spell the word fast with one finger right now. All right, Fast 5. That means Fast 5 is at 9, below John Wick, above Turning Red. I'm okay with that. If you're okay with that, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that. Like,
Ideally, where would you have put it if I had no input?
Probably above Kimmy.
Above Kimmy.
Below Scream. At number
6?
6, yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty close. I was
Yeah.
afraid that you wanted to put it at like 3, and
No.
I was just ruining your day.
No, I think it's like... I understand that. I know it's not the best movie. I think
Sure.
it's an incredible action movie, but there are like character things where you're like, eh.
Sure.
A lot of people are just like prototypical characters. They're like angry cop,
Yeah.
angry leader.
I just like when I'm thinking, because the true debate is between John Wick and Fast 5 for me.
Yeah.
And I just think I am more invested in John Wick wanting to avenge his wife and dog than I am in Vin Diesel talking about family. You know what I mean?
And I think it's like that John Wick stands a lot better as like a movie.
Sure.
To get that investment for Fast 5, you've got to watch the 4 before, kind of, so you understand where all these characters are coming from.
Yeah.
Like Tyrese and Ludacris are from Fast 2, Hans from Tokyo Drift. I think Giselle was in 4. But she was like kind of a villain-ish character in 4.
So this is kind of like the Avengers of the Fast 5
Yeah.
universe.
It kind of like collects them all,
Okay.
and then that's how you understand
Because
it.
if you
but, like,
really want, I actually, like, thinking about it now, would be willing to put Fast 5 above John Wick. If, like, you truly, truly believe that. Just because, like...
I think John Wick stands... If we're ranking movies, the movie, not the franchise or anything around
Sure.
it. I think John Wick is a little bit above.
Okay, then I'm okay with that.
But I think Fast 5 in the culmination, like in the whole project of the Fast and Furious, is a really great
Like, you
movie.
think Fast and Furious is a better franchise than John Wick is?
Right now. John Wick's a little early, I
And
guess. But
What would you say is the best John Wick?
I like the first one. A lot of people say the second. The third kind of dropped off for me. I'm hoping they get me back with the fourth coming out the day after my birthday.
Cool. Maybe
Which-
we'll go.
Well, no, you won't.
Oh, yeah, I made plans. Bye.
Gonna kill myself.
Okay,
Oh.
so that means Fast
I'm not
5
gonna
at
kill
number
myself.
9, below John Wick, above Turning Red.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to wrap it up?
We've had some laughs, we've had some flaffs, and we've really had a good time. Thanks for listening. Go hit me up on Mastodon. My username is Fast5StayingAlive. Welcome back to the party, baby. We're going on it, and we're getting a parade ready, man. Let's go. Party up, party down, all the way around town. Don't forget,
Next week is The Big Lebowski.
my recording's done, man. There was a boy one time ago that found a way to eat the snow, to eat the snow, to eat the snow. He found a way to eat the snow. He made some food, he cooked it hot. He made the snow a little pot. He made the snow edible. His name was Santa Claus. Santa Claus, 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 Santa